Perkins Family Restaurant, serving 11 delicious entrees for Mother's Day, noon to 8. And by Guardian Protection Services. Protect your home and family with the First Alert Home Security System from Guardian.
We played 5 innings this afternoon at Allegheny College. Along with Steve Mest, I'm Bill Flanagan. One of the young folks watching on today. Guys, that's a camera. There you go. 7-0 Gators. As Wooster, as those numbers indicate, unable really to do anything this afternoon, offensively or defensively. Only 2 base hits, 2 errors, and still no runs against 6'3" junior Chris Nelson, who remains in. You think, Steve, if it's an easy 1-2-3 inning, maybe Nelson will get a shot at the 7th?
I think he would. I think Coach Creehan would prefer to pitch Dean Peterson just 2 innings as opposed to 3. Therefore, he'd love to go with Nelson through 7, then hand the ball over to Peterson. Peterson more effective, I believe, in 2 innings work. He's just almost a Rob Dibble type of pitcher, really hard in terms of that he throws the ball very, very hard. He comes in and throws almost straight fastballs. Does have a good changeup. But yes, he would love to stick with Nelson, I believe, through 7 innings.
Second baseman.
You look at that, he'd be thrilled with a performance of that stature from Chris Nelson.
This is Jim Warga. Only his 2nd trip to the dish this afternoon. He's 0 for 1, struck out his first time up, takes the ball outside. Nelson cruising, thanks to 5 runs with 2 outs from his teammates. There's a called strike. 7-0. Gators in this contest, scoring 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 3 in the 5th. The 1-1. Inside corner, a called strike, it's 1-2.
And again, Chris Nelson ahead in the count, enabling him to work Warga over and throw him the pitches he would like to throw him.
There's the 1-2. Swung on and grounded foul down the 3rd base line. See some of the fans watching from that vantage point.
Is that a fan with a broom down the left field line?
It certainly is.
I didn't expect to see that today.
Allegheny looking for the sweep. Well, there's a called strike 3 to Warga, who for the 2nd time this afternoon is down on strikes.
Number 2, left
Chris
fielder,
Nelson gets
John
the K. This is 3rd on the afternoon. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Glad he could be a part of our broadcast on CTV 13. I'd like to personally thank our crew, doing an excellent job through 5+ this afternoon. There's a shot back at Nelson. He regroups, plenty of time to throw John Tomlinson out for the 2nd out of the inning. So just what we're talking about, Steve, a relatively easy inning to this point, 2 outs into it. Coach Creehan does want time to check on his pitcher. As that ball came right back at the box and to have nipped him on the glove hand. But Nelson is going to stay in there. Interesting, too. Might have seen there Coach Creehan pointing towards the umpire right before he left the mound. Just wanted to make sure that the umpire knew, hey, that was not a paid visit to the mound. I still have 1 visit if I want to use it in this inning to talk to my pitcher. That was an injury visit, and you can make as many of those during an inning as you need to. 2 outs in the 6th. There's a little number down the 3rd base line, a base hit off the glove of Steve Cook. Rounding first and heading for 2nd is Terry Gladys. He's in there with a 2-out double.
Steve Cook was playing Gladys to pull the ball, and Gladys went the other way, stayed with the pitch, stayed down through it, and pushed it right down the 3rd base line. Cook diving for the ball, not able to come up with it, and it was softly hit enough
Number 15,
that Joe Gator could not get over there in time to hold Gladys to just a single. See Steve cleaning a little dirt out of his pants there. He was down in the dirt on that play.
And right behind him, you see Wooster, continuing to warm up their bullpen. 2 outs and a runner at second. Here's Nelson's pitch inside. There's a snap throw to second. Nice defensive play there by Chuck Hardeby. An errant Greg Reinhardt throw. This is Todd Urban. 1 on, 2 out. Urban on the afternoon is 0 for 2. A 1-0 pitch. Swung on, and there's a base hit into right field. Up with it, Malagese, and fortunately overruns the ball, and that is going to plate Worcester's first run of the game. Actually, Allegheny with a defensive substitution out there in right field.
That's Kevin Daimio, now the senior in right field. I don't know that he would have had him at home even if he had been able to come up with that ball cleanly.
Number 27, first base.
Gladys had a nice jump on that ball. Was making the turn already around third as Daimio was going to field the ball. Don't know if it would have made much of a difference if Kevin had come up with the ball cleanly for the throw.
That's a clean base hit and RBI for Todd Urban, currently at first base. Wooster finally on the board, 6 innings in. And there's a called strike to Chris Singolani. Oh, and 1 the count.
Singolani 0 for 2 this afternoon. Ground out in the 4th inning.
Called timeout. This inning started very easy for Chris Nelson. Got a strikeout of Warga and a comebacker. That one's fouled away off the bat of Tomlinson. Then a 2-out double down the third base line off the bat of Terry Gladys, and he scored on Todd Urban's single to right field. The first Scott run of the afternoon. They trail it 7-1 against Allegheny. 2 outs, 6th inning. Rine does not hold the man at first, and because of that, he'll make an easy play at first base to end the inning. 1 run for Worcester. It's their first of the game, but we've played 5.5, and Allegheny's still in full control. They lead at 7-1. You're watching Allegheny College Baseball on CTV 13.
Today's game is brought to you by Cochranton Specialty, helping you build from the ground up. By Community Chevrolet, your full-line Chevrolet dealer. Days Inn of Meadville, for family reunions, weddings, and weekend getaways. Call Days Inn. Group 4 Printing, your full-service printing and specialty advertising company, staffed to serve your needs. And by North Street Auto, geared for the 90s, open 7 days.
We have a new pitcher as we begin the bottom half of the 6th inning, with Allegheny holding a 7-1 advantage. And there you get a look at him. Brett Beach, 6'2", 190-pound junior from New Kensington. And on the season, Brett Beach making his 10th appearance. He was a starter in 7 of those games, compiling a very nice 5-2 record and a very good ERA, 2.93. He's had a problem with control. He's walked 20 in 43 innings, only getting 21 strikeouts, but a very good hits to innings pitched ratio, 27 hits in those 43 innings, yielding only 14 earned runs. As we stated, a 2.93 earned run average.
Well, as you said, Bill, Beach a starter the majority of the season, the first 3 quarters of the season. But in talking to many of the Wooster traveling party this weekend, they said the Scots have been able to hit. They have fielded well. They're at the top of the conference in fielding, but it has been the pitching that has been so inconsistent, and Tim Petterini has been beginning to juggle his lineup even this late in the season. Starting pitchers now going in relief roles, as we have the case here with Beach.
I'll tell you, to be honest, today it's been a case that Worcester got pretty decent pitching from Nick Donatelli, who went 5 fairly strong innings. Won't get a quality start. As the first pitch to Joe Vastola is outside for ball one. But I definitely thought Donatelli asserted himself in this ball game. Just did not get any kind of supports. There's a strike call. Another look at 6'2" junior Brett Beach. On the hill now for Wooster. There's 1-1. On fouled at the plate. It's 1-2. Vastola on the day is 2 for 3. Includes 2 RBIs and a pair of doubles. Designated hitter today. But Allegheny up in this ball game 2-0, and that has stood thanks to 5 more Gator runs. There's a called strike 3. One away here in the 6th inning. So Brett Beach with a nice start out of the bullpen.
Number 5, third baseman,
Steve Cook came into the contest as the conference's leading hitter. Fallen a bit. In actuality, as Steve Mest pointed out, had a career-high 21-game hitting streak. Snapped yesterday, takes a called strike. But he went 0 for 3 in Game 2. And that is exactly what his ledger reads right now, 0 for 3 here in this contest. There's a curve that didn't do so. It's 1-1.
Steve Cook, part of the Buffalo, New York connection on this Allegheny team. One of 5 players out of the Buffalo, New York area. Really an overlooked recruiting area for most college coaches, but not for Rick Creehan. He started out with Steve Cook and then one of our starting pitchers, Pat Broadwater, who pitched in Game 2 yesterday in a complete game. Both of those young men out of the Buffalo area. That area has turned into a very productive area for Rick Creehan in which to recruit. I know he has several more young men coming out of that high school in that area that he's seriously considering or is recruiting heavily next year.
Here's the 1-2 to Cook. It's up high, 2-2. Aside from poor defense, starter Nick Donatelli was a little snake bit in terms of getting ahead in the count. He just didn't do so. Beach has been able to do just that through the first 2 hitters, but now goes full on Steve Cook. 1 out, nobody on, 6th inning. Allegheny 7. Wooster finally denting the scoreboard in the top of this frame. Scots have 1 run. 3-2 pitch. Cook lines a base hit back through center field. That one sent right back at the originator for Steve Cook's first base knock of the afternoon. The 8th Gator hit of the game. And it brings Joe Rine to the plate.
Well, there's the kind of the hitter that Steve Cook is. Very patient. Stays in there with a 3-2 count. Of course, a 4-year starter, you're going to have that kind of maturity. Steve Cook has started for Allegheny either second base or third base for all 4 years now. In fact, has not missed a game in his Allegheny career.
Mr. Rine is up high, ball 1. Joe Rine's 0 for 2. Walked and scored a run his last time up.
Cook definitely a threat to steal. He's stolen 29 of 30 bases this year.
And Beach knows it, throws to first. Keep his runner close.
Steve Cook really the complete baseball player. Speed, defense, and will hit for power and average.
There he goes, swinging a foul tip at home plate. Cook had a great jump, but it will all go for naught on the foul swing by Joe Rine, even the count at 1-1.
Looked like the hit and run again put on by Creehan, but that pitch by Beach in the dirt. Obviously, Rine unable to handle it.
And now Cook recollects at first base. Creehan goes back into his signaling. There you see his lead at first. Rine, the batter, with a 1-1 count. Beach will toss back to first, and the runner is back safely. Oftentimes today, you've been able to hear great sound from home plate. Makes the game that much more exciting. And there's a drive into deep left field. That's going to be over the head of Tomlinson and off the top of the wall. Rine is going to stop at second. Joe Rine missing a home run by literally inches. Just a long double